As the credits roll down on Ragnarok, I felt like a part of me has now left me, and the thought of that emptiness after finishing this game is bittersweet and touching. God of War Ragnarok is a masterclass in storytelling and game development. It's even one of the best character study of a video game character, Kratos. The God of War series has come a long way from banging goddesses to mindlessly slaying gods and goddesses down. The soft reboot focuses on familial bonds, character growth, and even instills a sense of responsibility and stoic wisdom in you as you play it. Full spoilers ahead, so be warned. I will suggest you play the game before checking this video out any further. Well, so many things to talk about. But first, let's talk about the obvious. This game is aesthetically gorgeous. It's a visual masterpiece. The character and level design is mind bogglingly beautiful. The voice acting and motion capture is stellar. The characters, they seem way more expressive than the previous game, which immediately connects with you on an emotional level. All of these things come together seamlessly and they create a rich and emotional experience that grips you from the word go and leaves you in awe of how far video games have come and how they can tell stories so much better than books or movies. Speaking of story, it is a deep and satisfying experience. The mythology is thoroughly and responsibly researched and presented in a glorious way. The amount of interactions between all the characters on screen share the lore and give you so much information about events, characters, and the different realms. Each of the realms have so much to offer in terms of the visual variety on screen. From the fiery hot lava pits of Muspelheim to the turquoise blue waters of Svartalfheim, or even the dense and rich forests of Vanaheim. Each realm is unique in terms of the environment, climate, flora and fauna, etc. The environments and levels are definitely bigger than the 2018 game and have more areas to explore this time around. There's even more loot to be found in each of these different realms. It took me about 37 hours to finish the main quest and a few of these other side quests as well. But even after you have finished the main quest, the side quests should keep you going for another 25 to 30 hours at least.
Where to first?
All the characters, they're so well written. Take Odin, for instance, an extremely complex character with many, many layers. He's smart, cold, cunning, calculative, and will do anything to survive, no matter what the cost. But what is also so special about this character is that he's vulnerable, lost, and seeking the purpose of his own existence. He wants to know what happens to gods when they die. He says he understands why humans have been created and what their purpose is. But what is his purpose of existence? Why have gods been created? I mean, it is a deep question, and one which we unfortunately do not get an answer for in the game. However, it showcases a character who has given everything and will give or take everything and anything in the pursuit of knowledge. That is what drives his motives in the game and is eventually his downfall. I mean, this is just one character out of the so many other characters written in the game. Thor, for instance, is an alcoholic father who feels like his own father bullies him and mistreats him, but he is still faithful to his commitment, respectful and obedient to the erratic demands of his father. And he never utters a word to disrespect or disobey his all demanding father. He does not revolt, but simply agrees to his father's demands, which ultimately breaks him and his family. Each character is layered with so many layers to peel to understand why they do what they do in the game. Even old characters like Brock and Sindri are more crucial to the main plot this time around, and they have a much bigger part to play in the main story. You'll be left stunned and heartbroken to see what happens with Sindri in the game. His character takes a sharp turn and goes from being a comic relief to maybe a serious threat in the future. I mean, it is an open ending for this particular character, and it will be really interesting to find out what happens with Sindri if they ever try to get him in any of the future installments that we have for God of War moving forward. The game also introduces many new supporting characters, and the whole world feels bigger, better, livelier. The character development and world building here are so good that I've never seen a game achieve this level of jaw dropping and awe inspiring immersiveness. There's a new dynamic at play here with the addition of Freya in the mix as a companion instead of Atreus. It made me feel like a new stepmom had stepped into Atreus' life. A good one at that, though, since Atreus really looks up to Freya, and in fact even looks forward to seeking her help early on in the game. The weapon system and the skill tree is also a step up from the previous installment. There's plenty on offer here, and they will not disappoint you. It feels familiar, yet there is a newness attached to it. The user interface looks much better and also feels much more intuitive. The battle system is perfectly dynamic, and the boss battles are engaging, and there are loads of them. Even you could say sub bosses or mini bosses, as one would call them. But the ones with Thor and Heimdall in particular really stand out. The climactic moments in the game are of gigantic proportions, I must say. This one scene alone here should give you the scale and size of the whole final battle. But at the heart of it all, the most important part of the game is Kratos' relationship with Atreus, and how these characters have grown since the last game. How their relationship, just like any father and son relationship, has gone through its ups and downs and has only come out stronger. Being a dad myself, there were times when I could totally relate to the father son story unfolding right in front of me. Like how Kratos is upset about Atreus using bad language or speaking disrespectfully, and how he corrects him is something I'm sure all parents go through. And to see it on screen just reminds me of how big of an impact these short conversations make to the overall game. It humanizes the experience, and you can immediately relate to it being a dad and all. Now, where the Greek saga delivered a story of loss, pain, and grief and ended with the death of Kratos, the new Norse saga is a story of recovery, strength, and hope. Kratos lost his family and everything in the Greek saga, including himself, by the end of the game. But the new Norse saga, which is the 2018 game and Ragnarok, gave him not just one, but two families by the end of the game. You will understand what I mean by this when you finally complete the game. With all this said, my time with God of War Ragnarok has come to an end, unfortunately. But just like Kratos says, Loki will go, but Atreus will always stay. This game may have unfortunately ended here, but the story of Kratos and family will always stay in my heart. Just like you can't buy happiness or can't put a number on it. I'll just end this video saying, if I ever get a chance to recommend a game to play in the last 25 years, it would be God of War Norse Saga. I mean the 2018 and the Ragnarok game. And it's not because of the technical aspects, but the emotional chords that it strikes. And I'm confident this will have an everlasting impact. I mean, it's already had an everlasting impact in my life, but hopefully, if you get a chance to play this, hopefully, it will have an everlasting impact in your lives as well. Well, that's it for this video, folks. Hope you have liked the content, and if you have, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button, and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, with that said, it's a wrap for this one, and I will see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.